Okay, so if the idea is to punish Xi Jinping for all of the bad behavior that you just mentioned, punish him economically and geopolitically, is there potential collateral damage? Is that potential damage too great and ultimately perhaps not worth it?
Right. So this is often the problem in diplomacy is there's no perfect answers that you only get good and there is no bad. So, for example, when we take away the special privileges of Hong Kong, could that impact on the Hong Kong economy? And the answer is absolutely. I think the first thing is who's responsible for that? It's the Chinese Communist Party. And I think the second thing is let's be honest here. China, if we don't do anything, China has no roadblocks. It will flatten Hong Kong like a pancake. This, I think, at least is the U.S. standing up. It might cause China to pause. I think it's similar with the WHO. I mean, will China have more influence in the World Health Organization? Possibly. But if the United States didn't raise a red flag and say no more, we're not going to stand for this, there would have been no obstacle. So I think you have to make the Chinese pay a cost for what they do. It's the only way to start to get their attention and curb their behavior.
Get it, because I don't think anyone listening wants Hong Kong to be folded back into China, communist China. So what is it that the president can do right now to stop China from taking over Hong Kong and trying to dilute its autonomy? What can he do?
Well, remember, Hong Kong is part of the country of China, right? But what we can make them do is pay a price for all their malfeasance, whether it's how they dealt with COVID or what they're doing with China, or for example, exploiting the U.S. education system, sending people over here to as students to spy on us and steal things. So by, for example, cutting off certain Chinese students, we're sending a message to Beijing. You are going to lose access to the greatest university system on the planet if you don't start to play by the rules. So I think these are scoped. They're appropriate, they're a responsible message, and they're sending tough messages to China. We're not going to put up with the abusive and exploitive behavior.
Yeah, no, I understand that Hong Kong is part of China, but it's autonomous, so it's under its own law, and that is what Xi Jinping is threatening to do, to bring it back under the communist rule. And that is what I'm asking you about, what the president should do regarding that.
Right, so remember, so there's this basic law, which is when sovereignty was returned to China from the British, that they would abide by this. And of course, the national security law completely violates that. So one of the things the administration announced is these could constitute human right violations. And under the Global Magnitsky Act, which is a law, we can punish individual Chinese leaders, specifically them for their actions. And I think that threat, for example, I think is very powerful and very appropriate.
Okay. Listen, so much going on. I appreciate you breaking it all down, James Carafano, and I'm sure we'll talk to you again, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Good luck. Long day.
Eric.